You're getting this video because you are all registered for the 2-day NLP for a Change training to enhance your change skills using neuro-linguistic programming. It's a mouthful, I know. And so I wanted to do something different this year. So Sierra Frost and I are kind of moving this event forward, and she's helping me manage it. And one of the things that we thought of was to come up with, kind of a 5-part video series to get you warmed up, to get you primed up for the 2-day training so you're not going in cold. And obviously, at the greatest year of your life, you got to kind of witness some of the tools that we used and experience some of them. And you've seen how quickly they can make shifts within people for those people who are ready. And so in this first video, I just kind of wanted to answer a question that I think most people have when they start to learn about NLP is, what is NLP? Well, let's go back to 1970. So early in 1970, I think it was 1974, there were two guys that came together, Richard Bandler, who was a computer programmer, and John Grinder, who was a linguist, and they met at the University of Santa Cruz. And they melded their minds together, and they came up with this question about what is it that helps people create extraordinary results in their life and in their field, while others flounder. While others are mediocre. What's that difference? We all physically are built with skin and bones and blood and organs and everything that we need to operate on planet Earth. But what makes that difference between the extraordinary and the average? And so they began looking at, in terms of the therapy field or the healing field, they began to study and look at who are the most prominent people in the field of therapy, of counseling. And they found 3 people that they wanted to start modeling and learning from. And the first person was Milton Erickson. Milton Erickson was the most famous, world-famous hypnotherapist in his day for creating very fast changes with people because he understood the language of the unconscious mind. Milton Erickson has been modeled within NLP for his brilliant language patterns and his ability to induce trance within people and to change things in the unconscious quickly. A very powerful man. The next person that they modeled was Fritz Perls. Fritz Perls was responsible for creating something called Gestalt therapy. Gestalt therapy is the idea that if there's certain experience patterning itself out in your life, Fritz Perls said there's a point in time, a beginning catalyst point, where that pattern was originated and created, and that if you could go back to that initial experience and begin to change the dynamics of it, then you can start to kind of clean up the timeline. And that's where timeline therapy was born, through understanding Gestalt therapy through Fritz Perls. And then finally, they looked at Virginia Satir, who was an amazing family therapist that was achieving amazing results with her clients and her families that she worked with. And what they began to learn about Virginia is she had a depth of caring, of rapport, of connection with her clients. So they looked at these 3 people and they said, these 3 people are creating extraordinary results. What are they doing? And they began to unpack the behavioral patterns, the language patterns, the emotional states that they were in consistently, their thinking patterns, their belief systems, and their values. So they began looking at the internal structure of how they operated, and that's how NLP was born. It was born through the core principle of modeling, of looking at somebody who's achieving extraordinary results in any field and saying, okay, let's unpack it, let's reverse engineer it, let's take a look at how they're doing things in a certain way to get the results that they're getting, and then let's apply what we've unpacked. So modeling is the core principle, really, that carries NLP's brilliance. And from the 1970s, this body of work has just continued to expand and expand and expand. And so you're going to be learning some of the sort of foundational tools. Obviously, in 2 days, we can't cover everything that NLP offers, but we can definitely lay a nice foundation and give you some solid tools to use with yourself and with each other so that you can continue moving through limitations, through fears, and moving toward your goals. Before NLP came along, people were seeing their therapist for years, every week or every month or whatever, for years. And with NLP, when done effectively with other people, I mean, you can condense years into months, sometimes even days. So I hope that gives you a nice insight into what NLP is and how it was developed. So stay tuned for our next video on presuppositions, and let us know if you have any questions about the event. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon. And again, we'll see you on the next video.